My name is Sue and I'm here to protest about the felling of 2 oak trees to make way for footbridge repairs.
So how long has the bridge been here?
The bridge dates from 1865, so it was built in Victorian times. It was built because the railway took people from Nunhead through to the Crystal Palace. And obviously, that was a very, a big draw for people. Then obviously the Crystal Palace burnt down, and then the demand for that line sort of dried up. So it was closed in 1954.
And I also understand that an elephant escaped from Crystal Palace and it ran down the railway line here.
So that sounds amazing. I met a woman who says she remembers waving at the steam train from the bridge.
So how long?
I don't know about the elephant.
How long has the bridge been closed, and why has it been closed?
So, just fast forwarding. Obviously, the railway has been disused now for nearly 70 years. This is a footbridge that was built across that railway. And over that 150-year period, it's needed repair. And it's over the years been repaired quite successfully within the woodland setting. And now for the very first time in the bridge's history, Southwark Council has decided that in order to carry out the kinds of repairs that they want to do to the bridge, they'll have to take out the trees. And it means the guardians of the trees, the 2 oak trees on either side, perfectly healthy, 100 and 150-year-old oak trees, to allow access for Conway to bring in their cranes and heavy machinery. And this would do work on the foundations of the bridge, so at either end of the bridge.
So do they want to put in a different type of bridge, or just exactly the same?
So it will be exactly the same bridge, just with sort of a concrete foundation at either end.
Which you've already got now.
Which we've got now. And our argument from a technical perspective is that backfilling concrete in London clay is probably not the best technical solution. We, as the campaign to save the oak trees, we crowdfunded an independent engineer's report, and that showed that it's quite possible technically to use manual tools to sort of pile drive into the clay to sort of shore up the foundations at either end of the bridge. And that work can be done without taking out the oak trees. It's quite possible technically to do this work. It might take a little bit longer to do that than say Conway would do it. Conway will be in and out in 4 months, they say. Our work might take a little bit longer, but our design will ensure that there is a longer life for that repair. So the bridge will then we'll spend money now, but it will mean the bridge will last longer. So it's a historic bridge. We'd love to keep the bridge. It doesn't go over a railway anymore. Pizarro painted what was the Lordship Lane station at the time. So there is history here, human history, and it is the public right of way. So Southwark Council has a duty to repair the public way. But let's do that repair taking account of the ancient woodland setting.
So have they engaged with the campaign at all?
So this has been a struggle that's been running for about 2 years now. And they consulted the public or the residents of Southwark for 2 weeks over the Christmas period in 2018, and they regard that as being the consultation, and we say, well, that's not sufficient, because the users of the wood are not just from Southwark, they're from neighbouring Lewisham, neighbouring Lambeth, and often further afield. Croydon, Bromley. I've heard of people coming from North London to see the last remnants of the Great North Wood. So there's a draw. These woods are quite special in London. You know, if you go outside of London, you might find people say, well, you know, we've got ancient woodland, you know, 10 times better than this woodland. What do you want about? And we're like, well, you may well do, but we are in a massive city environment. And here, this is a very, very rare habitat. And we can host woodland species that won't grow anywhere else in Southwark or any other neighbouring boroughs. So it doesn't make any sense for us in a woodland setting to take down these ancient oak trees.
So what's prompted you and everybody else to be here in this week in particular?
Okay, so, you know, obviously then fast forward the story. We have engaged with the council for the last 2 years saying you need to consult us properly, and they've said, well, we'll have some meetings, and we've had some meetings. They haven't been all that well advertised. So we have had good engagement from a small group of people, you know, 100 or so people. It has culminated in, as I say, us crowdfunding this alternative engineering solution that would save the trees, and the council have just closed that down now. So at the end of October, Catherine Rose, Dale Foden and others making the decision in the council, Southwark Council, have just said, oh, we don't think your engineering solution is going to work. We want to crack on now. So we've got the felling licence. We're going to proceed with the works as planned, as we had planned. You know, we feel like we have looked at your alternative. There really is no other way, and we're very sorry. And we've said, we've still got loads of questions about your proposal, you know, this backfilling of the concrete. If you take out these two healthy, mature, 100-year-old oak trees on a railway embankment, you are going to find that that will undermine the structure of your new bridge. You know, those new foundations in 10 or 20 years' time could fail simply because of your removing these ancient oak or healthy, mature oak trees. So don't backfill the concrete, don't take out the oak trees, preserve the woodland and fix the bridge in a manner that will secure a longer lifetime.
And this week is the week that they're due to come and cut them down?
Well, the felling notices say we will cut the trees week commencing 16th of November 2020.
And has anybody attempted yet?
They came yesterday.
Did they?
Yes.
What happened then?
Okay, yesterday was a difficult day. So obviously I've been camping here since Saturday in advance of the Monday commencement date. And I'm one of many, you know, we're all on standby to see what happens. And I didn't think they would come on Monday. I thought they would sort of realise that there was a strength of feeling here and maybe reconsider. But actually they didn't. You know, Conway came up. On Saturday they delivered fencing.
Right.
And then on Monday morning at 9 o'clock they came with chainsaws. And that was their first approach. You know, they didn't even try a softly approach on Monday morning going, right guys, can we just have a sort of a gathering and just sort of talk about what we're going to do today and talk about what you're going to do today and sort of have a dialogue. You know, it was very much, we're here to fell these trees. And they came with they didn't talk to us, essentially. And they sawed through a wooden fence to get access. So the chainsaw got within 2 meters of the 100-year-old tree. This one's 140 years old. And there was a lady under the tree who said, so she was asked, please could you move? Contractors wanted her to move. She said, no, I'm not moving. And they had sawed through the fence to then come towards the tree, but they were still actually running their saw, you know, sort of a test thing. And it felt quite threatening, I'll be honest. I was on this side, I was protecting the 140-year-old tree. The lady in question was protecting the 100-year-old tree. And I was sort of bricking it, thinking, wow, I'm glad I'm not her right now. And she said, I'm not moving. And I was like, wow, she's really powerful. And she said, I think it's a police job. And it was at that moment that all of the contractors gathered, 5 or so people that had gathered with the petrol and the chainsaws, then just melted away down the hill. She sent them packing. So this one woman, and we, I was here, we had a few other protesters here. We weren't hugely numerous at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, but,
And nothing's happened since.
Sorry?
And nothing's happened since.
Well, we're waiting now to see, we're now midday on Tuesday, and haven't heard a dicky bird. So, what's happening? Are they getting an injunction to remove us? Are they reconsidering and realising, when these people have come on site, this could be the first time they're seeing this. This is the first time the arborist who's actually taking down the trees has been on site. So maybe it's the first time that he's realising, oh yeah, no, these trees must not come down in this setting. Don't undermine this steep railway embankment.
And how long are you going to stay here?
We're here for the duration, these trees are not coming down, as far as I'm concerned.
There you go, that's a good place to enter.
So, that's